So, of course, we had to double back to Trump's State of the Union address. And I wanted to show you guys a couple of moments that I thought were very key moments and big moments. And I didn't address every single moment. There's a couple other moments that I didn't address. So if there's one that, you thought I was going to, but I didn't, I'm sorry. All right. I only got so much time. I don't want to keep you guys here for an hour. All right. But with that being said, let's hop into this very first moment where, of course, Democrats showed their hand. And I love what Uncle Trump did in this moment. And check it out.
So tonight I'm inviting every legislator to join with my administration in reaffirming a fundamental principle. If you agree with this statement, then stand up and show your support. The first duty of the American government is to protect American citizens, not illegal aliens.
All the Democrats sitting down. And Trump is like, got him. Got him. Because remember, when he first started talking, he was actually looking over at the Democrats as he was stating it. See? He's actually looking over at them.
Stand up and show your support. The first duty of the American government is to protect American citizens, not illegal aliens.
So, as he's asking the question, he's looking directly at Democrats as they're sitting down. Genius. The longest applause ever. It's still going. Mark Kelly. He knows. Oh, yeah, he got us. Democrats absolutely looked like children right there. And he exposed where their loyalty really lies. Just exposed them. In front of all of America to see. Amazing. Now we got to move on to when Uncle Trump brought up the SAVE Act. And he actually brings up Mamdani, which I thought was quite genius as well. Check it out.
And perhaps most importantly, I'm asking you to approve the Save America Act. To stop illegal aliens and others who are unpermitted persons from voting in our sacred American elections. The cheating is rampant in our elections. It's rampant. It's very simple. All voters must show voter ID. All voters must show proof of citizenship in order to vote. And no more crooked mail-in ballots except for illness, disability, military, or travel. None. And this should be an easy one. And by the way, it's polling at 89%, including Democrats. 89%.
That is true. That is 100% true.
And even the new communist mayor of New York City, I think he's a nice guy, actually. Speak to
Here we go.
Bad policy, but nice guy. Just said they want people to shovel snow. They got hit hard. Wants them to shovel snow, but if you apply for that job, you need to show 2 original forms of ID and a Social Security card. Yet they don't want identification for the greatest privilege of them all, voting in America. No, it's no good. No good. Both Republicans.
I'm happy that, and I say this, I'm happy that he said it because it calls out the silliness of it all, right? For any of the Democrats or liberals out there who are still on the fence, which over 70% of Democrats want people to have to show some sort of identification in order to vote. Obviously, a majority of Republicans and a majority of independents also, right? I think it's over 90% for Republicans and over 80% for independents. So a majority of this country agrees, which is quite interesting, right? Because it almost seems like we don't agree on anything these days. But on that topic, we all agree. So it's quite interesting that you see, Democrats like Chuck Schumer so adamantly against it. It's interesting, and it shows you how bad the cheating really is. Because when your own constituents, when your own voters, right, agree that, yeah, we should be showing ID to vote. I mean, over 70% of Democrats, right? That is a that is a majority, right? By 20%, over 20%, 21% technically. But when you have a majority of your party, of your voters saying, yeah, we agree with this, and you still are fighting against it, it tells me a lot. It tells me a lot. It tells in this particular case, it tells me that you are cheating. It tells me that Trump is right. It tells me that we were on the right path. You guys are doing something. You guys are finagling the numbers. Right? At least that's what it says to me, but you guys can let me know how you feel in the comments. But let's continue.
And Democrats overwhelmingly agree on the policy that we just enunciated. And Congress should unite and enact this common sense, country-saving legislation right now, and it should be before anything else happens. And the reason they don't want to do it, why would anybody not want voter ID? One reason, because they want to cheat. There's only one reason. They make up all excuses. They say it's racist. They come up with things you almost say, what imagination they have. They want to cheat. They have cheated. And their policy is so bad that the only way they can get elected is to cheat. And we're going to stop it. We have to stop it, John.
I love how he also did call out John Thune there. As you guys heard, he said, hey, we have to stop it. We have to stop it, John. And I think he pointed at him. So, yeah, great little bit there. Now he moves on to insider trading, and he actually has a pretty funny moment. Check it out.
Let's also ensure that members of Congress cannot corruptly profit from using insider information. They stood up for that. I can't believe it.
Here we go. Wait for it.
I can't believe it. Did Nancy Pelosi stand up if she's here? Doubt it. Pass the Stop Insider Trading Act without delay.
I love it. I love it. Of course, Blumenthal is sitting down with these Ukrainian pins, bro. I don't get it. I don't get it. You know, it's mind-blowing. And I asked you guys a while back, I can't remember which video, but I asked you guys, like, am I tripping for saying I don't give a crap about Ukraine? Like, why should I care that Ukraine is having to fight Russia? I don't care. We got homeless veterans. We got homeless people in general on our streets, right? We got people who are struggling to feed themselves. We got home prices that have shot through the roof. Like, we need to clean up our own house before we worry about anybody else's. I don't care what they got going on. That's their problem. I'm worried about the problems going on right here on American soil. And all of y'all agree. Y'all like, nah, Rich, you ain't tripping. So yeah, I don't get this whole stand with Ukraine. Like, I mean, I do get it because, of course, I mean, at least to me, it's quite obvious that they were laundering money through Ukraine. That's why they, wanted to fight for it so harshly, right? So much. At least that's the only thing that makes sense to me. They were laundering some money through Ukraine, because why else would you care about a random place like Ukraine? Why else would you care? It's nowhere near us. Why do you care about Ukraine of all places? Because you're getting some kickbacks. Anyway, now let's move on to another moment where he exposed the Democrats once again. Check it out.
Hey, what's going on with Charlotte? Last summer, 23-year-old Irina was riding home on the train when a deranged monster who had been arrested over a dozen times and was released through no cash bail stood up and viciously slashed a knife through her neck and body. No one will ever forget. There were people on that train. No one will ever forget the expression of terror on Irina's face as she looked up at her attacker in the last seconds of her life. She died instantly. She had escaped a brutal war only to be slain by a hardened criminal, set free to kill in America, came in through open borders. Mrs. Zaretsky, tonight I promise you we will ensure justice for your magnificent daughter, Irina. How do you not stand? How do you not stand? I'm asking this Congress to pass tough legislation to ensure that violent and dangerous repeat offenders are put behind bars, and importantly, that they stay there.
Once again. And it's quite interesting because if I remember correctly, Irania, or hopefully I'm pronouncing her name correctly, she was from Ukraine. Let me double check that really quickly so I make sure I got the right information, because I don't want to be. He's spreading misinformation. Where was yeah, she was from Ukraine. She was from Ukraine and moved to Charlotte in 2022 to escape the war. So an individual from the country that all of these Democrats are wearing a pin, from on their shirts, right? Because they all have the Ukraine flag pin on their shirts. This young lady who was killed, she was from Ukraine. And they couldn't even stand up for her. These Democrats, they don't stand for anything. I mean, literally, they don't stand for anything. But also, right, they don't stand for anything. Oh, yeah, I'm going to wear a Ukraine pin, but I'm also not going to stand up for a young lady who was from Ukraine that was killed here on American soil. She fled a war zone to come here to America and was put 6 feet in the dirt on American soil, but she was running from a war. And I'm not going to stand up for her, but I'm going to wear her country's flag on my chest. How does that even make sense? CNN even admitted defeat. Check it out.
We go to the results of our instant poll, get this reaction from those that watched the speech tonight. 38% said they had a very positive reaction to the speech, 25% somewhat positive, 36% negative. So roughly 2/3 in the positive territory, 1/3 negative among speech watchers.
2/3 thought the speech was positive. 1/3 thought it was negative. In a country where you have mainstream media constantly bombarding people with nothing but Trump bad, Trump bad, Trump bad, Trump bad. 2/3 of people still said, you know what? Actually, that was a great speech. That was a positive speech. Just saying. I'm just saying. Now, I will say this. Do I think he should have spoken more about, right, the economy? Yeah. Because of course, you know, we all know the saying, it's the economy, stupid, you know. But also at the same time, he addressed some major issues and he exposed who the Democrats really were. He reminded people that, yo, while, yeah, I may not be perfect, and I get that, but you damn sure don't want those folks in control. Because let me remind y'all who they really are. And that's part of what he did there, right? And of course, addressing a lot of the corruption which we have been uncovering in this country, which is absolutely mind-boggling. Billions upon billions of dollars just gone into the wind. It's crazy, man. Absolutely crazy stuff. But shout out to Uncle Trump. All in all, great speech. Great speech. Y'all let me know your thoughts, your opinions about all of this in the comments below. Peace and love. I'm out.